Aloha and welcome to the show. The 692nd Podcast is a platform for developing and connecting with our airmen across the island and those now serving on the mainland. Tune in for episodes where we talk all things leadership and personal development while getting a glimpse into the lives of the people moving our missions forward. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Derek Addison, and this is the 692nd Podcast. Welcome, Knights, Tigers, Hawks, Warriors, and Krakens to this episode of Bragging on My Airmen. Today we sit down with Staff Sergeant Select Tom Schaum from the 8th Intelligence Squadron. I've known Tom for a few years now and couldn't be happier to have him on as the first guest of the new season in this category. Enjoy this episode where I asked Tom about his life, perspectives on the world, and some insights into what makes Tom stand out among his peers. Welcome. This is Bragging on My Airmen with, actually, I'm going to let him introduce himself. What is your full name?
So I am Senior Airman Thomas Ray Schaum.
Okay, and what do you go by?
Tom.
You go by Tom?
Mm-hmm.
What's your hometown?
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster.
What is
Known
known?
Amish County.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
So I remember driving through Pennsylvania to get to a like a ski resort when I was stationed at NSA.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Twin Peaks, I think, is where the thing was at. But we saw some Amish guys on the highway, and I was curious. I was like, I wonder where they live.
Oh, yeah. No, Lancaster, you see them everywhere. On the highway, horse and buggy, just strolling along. So, yeah, it's
Interesting.
pretty common.
Did you ever talk to him?
Oh, yeah. I grew up right next to an Amish farm. We were actually good friends with them. They'd make us food all the time. We'd go down, play with the animals, go play in the haystacks. Oh, it was a blast.
Is the food good?
It's not the most flavorful food in the world.
Yeah.
but no, yeah, it wasn't bad. Their baked goods are awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always see their woodworking.
Oh, woodworking.
That's what everyone.
Oh, impeccable. Yeah, it's why everybody goes there.
Yeah, I think there was like a infomercial or something, late night infomercial, like for, I don't know, 10 years from the 90s to mid 2000s about like an Amish built fireplace or something, but it's all electrical, like inside, but the woodworking is all Amish inspired or Amish crafted or something. I was like, is that good? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's pretty quality stuff. So I grew up in an arts and crafts business. My mom had, and we get all of our materials from the local Amish. So we get all of our lumber, all of pretty much anything that we need, any specific crafting that we needed done, any specialist or anything like that. Yeah, we always went through the Amish because it was always affordable. They did good work.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So are you married?
I am, yes.
How long have you been married?
Ooh, so right before the military, so it'd be a little over 3 years. But
All
we've
right.
been together for 8.
Been together for 8.
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I am, 33.
33. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
almost 34. I don't even know how old I am anymore.
Me too.
After 30, it's just a blur.
Exactly. I don't care anymore, right?
Yeah.
I remember in Korea, I always had to add a year because the Koreans add the 9 months during the womb, and then if your birthday is within
Really?
like 3 months of the Chinese or the Lunar New Year, then you add another year.
Huh.
So someone come up and was like, "Oh, I'm 18." It's like, when's your birthday? It's like December. It's like, so you're actually 16.
Wow.
That's what it is. And they're just
Yeah.
like, well, no. So, and what's your spouse's name?
Shallon.
Shallon?
Shallon, yes.
All right. Do you have any children?
I do. 3 stepchildren.
3 stepchildren. What are the ages?
Oh, man. 21, 18, and 14.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
21,
The missus is a little older than I am.
18 and 14.
Yep.
All right. So, so you've been together for 8 years. So the 14-year-old was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. And the other one was, I don't do math. 13 was the oldest?
So she would have been 13?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Quick public math. I'm from Florida, so it's not very good.
Oh, hey, Amish County, we don't do math.
That's
either.
true. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Do they use abacuses there?
No.
What is your AFSC?
1 and 4.
1 and 4.
Yes.
Bravo, correct?
Bravo, yes.
Yeah, we do have some alphas in the group. So,
Oh, okay.
what is your current position?
So I am an ADAC operator at DGS 5.
And what does ADAC do?
So the Air Domain Awareness Cell. So we try to think of a
An unclassed version of what you do.
version of what we do.
Yeah.
So we provide basic situational awareness, providing an air picture to consumers across Indo-PACOM.
Yeah.
Would be the most basic way of
Right. So the tactical warfighter.
correct.
Yeah. So I think whenever I was in ADAC, I used to, obviously in the unclassed settings, I'd explain to them like, we take the air picture, we track, every aircraft that's in the Pacific or Indo-PACOM AOR, and if it's of interest of our tactical operators, I put it on their screen.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah.
My last question on here for, just like the template is, have you been told that you were doing this, and did you know that you were going to be here today doing this?
Oh, I was not told.
Yeah. I just told you to show up.
That's right.
And you're like, cool. Do I need to be in uniform? I was like, no.
I thought Hangar 4 was a warehouse, so I was totally curious what was going to happen.
Oh, maybe we should let people know that Hangar 4 is not a warehouse anymore. Otherwise, that might put people off from going over. It's like, what do you want me over there for on a weekend? That's kind of weird. Yeah. So I will explain to you why you are here.
Okay.
So you've been called out by your peers in leadership for being awesome. We are going to obviously the first set of questions, things like that. But actually, let me ask you first. Why do you think, or let's start with who, because who's always a good question. Who do you think put you up for something like this?
Oh man. Well, just from tenure, I've had a lot of time working with Ronald Pinnell, our contractor at work. I've also worked with a couple operators, Schrock, Douse, Senior Airman Bedard. And so I have a lot of history with them. So if I were to take a guess, it would probably be one of them.
Yeah? Okay. So you think that one of them is the one who said pretty much Senior Airman Schaum needs to be recognized for his awesomeness.
I'd like to think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are correct, by the way. Actually,
awesome.
I got a quote from one of those individuals. To be an effective operator, there's a level of maturity, ownership, and the ability to lead without direction from the front. Over the years, observing Senior Airman Schaum, his knowledge, work ethic, and trustworthiness with the mission set is far above any other operator that I've come across. While his departure will come at a great loss for this cell, my only hope is that his knowledge and passion will resonate to some degree in each airman that he has taken the liberty to train.
It's super thoughtful. It's very good to hear.
So who do you think it is now?
That's totally wrong.
It is definitely wrong. Yeah. So I've got a list of questions.
Okay.
This would definitely take us into like that 200-hour time frame that I was explaining about how big this crazy SD card is.
Okay.
So we're not going to go through all of them.
Okay.
But I do want to kind of get a sense of who you are as an individual.
Okay.
Like deep down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh man, we're capturing this on
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's okay though. Like if you say anything like crazy or controversial, we'll just keep it in the thing and make a little like hashtag note. Like these do not represent the views of the Air Force. Things like that. So and you know what? Actually, one of the first questions up here directly ties to what we do in the Air Force. And all the secrecy that our jobs revolve around.
Sure.
Do you think aliens exist?
Yes.
Oh, yep. See?
It is a mathematical impossibility that aliens don't exist somewhere in the universe.
Okay. Are you good with you just said that you weren't good at math, so you're going to say like there's a mathematical impossibility that
Well, that's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go with
I didn't do the math personally.
Right, let's go with improbability then.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty strong.
About impossibility?
Well, about them not so being here
Yep.
specifically, or just existing. Somewhere
Just
in the universe?
existing in general.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
they're out there for sure.
Have you ever been to the this? I don't know if it's like the World in Space or there's a museum in New York City that I went to, and you sit down, you like recline back in these chairs, and like the whole ceiling is like a big.
I have
dome.
been there actually. Yes.
Do you remember?
I think that was a school trip. Oh god, that had to have been.
I mean, for you,
15
they're not going to
plus years
drive a
ago.
bunch of school kids from Florida up there. We went to Epcot and Disney World, so I ain't
it's
gonna
still
lie.
pretty cool.
Right. We didn't. I mean, Epcot was kind of educational, I guess. But so do you remember in that briefing or in that show? Do you remember what they told you about why it's in a mathematical, maybe improbability, but we can go with impossibility that aliens have to exist?
Just due to the vast number of star systems, galaxies, just the numbers are overwhelming. So the probability is so high that there's some life-serving planet other than our own that it's almost to be expected. It's just if we have the ability to find it or
Right.
to make contact, those kind of things. But I just by the sheer numbers.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you. I think it's because of that show that I saw in. I think I was 18 whenever I went up there for the first time, and we're sitting there, and it talks about like every star that you see, and I kind of grew up where in the boondocks of Florida, so like the night sky had a lot of stars. There weren't many. There wasn't as much light pollution as you'd think.
Yeah.
Since your closest neighbor is your great uncle who lives like a mile and a half away from you. So
Yeah.
but so talks about like every star that you see in the night sky is a sun, and let's just say like for S's and G's that each one of those suns has 5 planets. Our sun has 9 or 8
Right.
and an old dinky thing. But so let's say each one of those has 5. Like the numbers are, of course they showed the number on the screen, and I'm just like, there's too many zeros. I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not a number in my head.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. All right.
They're out there.
Yeah. Maybe they might be among us. You never know.
They might be. That we can't talk about.
Exactly. Right. So when my cousin joined the Army, he's like, "You're in the Air Force." I was like, "I am." He's just like, "You have a TSSCI?" I was like, "I mean, I do." He's like, "So what's at Area 51?" And I was like, "Planes? It's a testing site." He's like, "Where are the aliens?" I was like, "That's at Area 52." He's like, "There's more?" I mean, there are actually. I didn't realize at the time that there was an Area 52.
That's pretty cool.
I know. I was just like, oh man, like now he thinks it's real.
That's
So.
funny because we were actually at Nellis right before that big Facebook push
Oh, yeah.
for everybody to rush Area 51. So that was pretty interesting.
I had a couple friends that were trying for that. I was like, look, man, like security forces will not play.
Oh, no.
Like you will get shot. Like do not
Right.
do this. You can't Naruto run whatever that is. I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's where
but-
they have their hands back, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I only know that from my kids.
Right. Oh, okay. All right. So let's go on to what do you do to make the world a better place in your personal life or even professional life? What do you do to make the world better?
I think a lot of it starts at home. I'm a really big family guy, so for me, I always talk to my kids about being the change that they want to see in the world.
Yeah.
So just being that person that, I don't want them to be a passive bystander. I really want them to take an active role in their own lives and help others so that they can really become more active participants in their own lives. And I try to carry that into the workplace as well. I'm always very encouraging. I always try to really set the tone personally as a model, so I always try to hold myself to a high standard, but then encourage others to do the same, and I think that's really important.
I agree with you. That is very important. Thank you for doing that.
Of course.
Yeah. Do you have any specific movie quotes that you use on a regular basis?
Oh, movie quotes. I mean, most I can't say because they're Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well,
I mean, he only says one thing, but...
Well, yeah, but I say it a lot, so
yeah,
it's
it's
to
fine.
be fair.
Yeah.
I don't have any specific movie quotes that I can think of at the top of my head.
So what maybe movie do you quote the most?
That's going to take a second.
Because I had an airman, I don't know, I think it was an instructor at Goodfellow, and an airman asked me, they're like, so I've never seen Major Payne. He's like, is it even a decent movie? I was like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like what would I know from that? I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can quote the whole movie. So, like, I don't know. I don't even know how to talk to you right now. And there's like, when did you see it? I was like, I think I've seen it maybe 40 times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. And I do remember when I was going on the bus up to Parris Island, South Carolina to join the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
We watched first Full Metal Jacket.
Oh,
And
perfect.
then, so, to give us like
That's a good one.
a little taste of what boot camp was going to be like. And then, we watched Major Payne afterwards. So we were all in a good mood. That changed very quickly whenever,
I'm sure it did.
whenever the drill instructors got onto the bus
Right.
when we arrived at Parris Island. So any movies?
I'm really trying to think, and Some older movies, Godfather. I think of Pulp Fiction. I think of Long Kiss Goodnight. But these are really the only ones that are coming to mind. It's more of an in the moment type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the heat of the conversation, and then all of a sudden you just start quoting some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big music guy too, so I'd probably be more like music lyrics or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
I do the same thing actually with my kids.
yeah,
Everything they say, like there's a song for something that is relative
yeah.
or
Seriously, there
relates
really
to it.
is.
So I was kind of mad about like my Korean teachers would do that. Oh, you'd say like a phrase, and the Korean teachers would like start singing that same phrase. There's literally a Korean song for everything. They're like, yes. I was like, okay, but then I realized like there's an American song for everything too.
Oh,
So
there totally is.
yeah, so now my kids get mad. So what song do you sing at home, like amongst your family?
Oh, I mean, they give me a lot of crap for it, but
Mine
every
do
now
too.
and again, yeah, it's not the most resonating voice in the world.
Yeah. What song is your go-to?
Oh, jeez, "Separate Ways" by Journey. That's always a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good karaoke song.
That's a difficult song to do too. Anything with Journey.
Oh, it's
Like-
standards are pretty high. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're either crashing and burning, which
Yes.
is usually what happens.
I
But
mean,
I'm
that's
also,
fine.
after a few drinks, but
Yeah.
or you just knock it out of the park. But Journey's always a good one. Uh, Sometimes I will attempt Seal. That's really really going out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give it a try.
Oh wow. I mean, you don't have to do it on here, but
Oh no, Whew.
No, I'm-
Thank the
I'm,
Lord. We'll have to edit that out real quick.
I don't understand. I always go to Lean on Me for some reason.
I'll lean on me.
Yeah, I don't
Alright.
know why. Like it's always been, maybe since the movie Stand by Me with Morgan Freeman,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's the principal of the school.
Yeah.
Ever since then, maybe I don't know. Like I've just loved that song. It's always stuck in my head. I will always sing it.
So that's your karaoke song?
Well, no, I don't do karaoke for the same reasons you have. But that, yeah. I mean, obviously, I grew up listening to country, so there's a lot of old country songs in my head. But
So I feel like half my music would send most of the people screaming
yeah,
out of the room. Yeah. A lot of hard rock music.
yeah,
A lot of rap.
yeah.
So everything but country, oddly enough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, having grown up where I did.
Yeah.
Not in the country.
You had to go exactly the opposite of
I
the
was a
Amish.
I must have been a rebel.
Yeah.
Well, the Amish, I mean, they have their
They got music too.
actually, now that I think about it, you don't really hear much music from the
Okay.
Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say they do.
I wonder if they have like.
I mean, I'm sure they do.
I'm gonna have to Google this later.
Yeah, actually.
So let's go with like horrible voices.
Okay.
Not mine, but let's go with that. If animals could talk, which animal would be the most annoying?
Oh, a Chihuahua for sure.
Really?
And that's specific. So not just a dog, because I love dogs, but a Chihuahua specifically would have the most annoying voice.
But they were so good in Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Right?
I don't know who did the voice for that, but it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Let's see. I think just because, have you ever seen the movie Zootopia?
Bits and pieces with my daughter Kirsten.
So I think a sloth would be the most annoying, mainly because
Should be so long and drawn out.
Yep. And there's a guy that unfortunately I have to work with, so I can't. I'm not going to name drop anyone, but he and everyone who has had to deal with this individual will readily identify with this man. But he talks so slow, and I don't know if he's forming the words or the sentences in his head or whatever. But after, like, I don't know, the first conversation I had with him, I started talking, and obviously I don't talk slow. And then he started answering, and I got his answer, but I guess he had more. So I went on to the next thing, and he went back to finishing up his answer, and I was like, so I was confused. I was like, okay, yep. And then I was going on to the next thing. He went back to it. I was like, all right,
You might need all 200
200
hours
hours
of
for
the,
that. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And everyone was just like, oh, yeah, you talked to Mr. Snuffy. It was like, yes. It was a very long phone conversation.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. A sloth.
Yep. I think that'd just be annoying to me because my brain doesn't go that slow.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have the same patience I used to. People think that you have kids and you have more patience. I think that's true for the first couple years,
Yeah.
but then it really starts to wear away. I have far less patience now
Yes.
than I think I ever have
Yes.
in my life.
Yeah. And the military does the same thing.
Yes, the military does.
Because then you expect, like my kids can get this. Why can't a grown adult do this?
Right.
It's bad. I don't know.
It is bad.
I try not to. And then sometimes, obviously I try to give my kids as much, leeway as possible. I kind of treat them a little bit, maybe like they should know better.
Oh yeah. Of course.
And my wife is like, she's 8, right? Like, whatever. I had a job at 8 and I didn't have a job. But still. What languages do you wish you could speak?
Oh, yeah, it's funny. I was literally just talking to my daughter, Shaylin, about this yesterday.
Yeah.
So I would love to learn French. Would
Okay.
love to learn Spanish. It is a life goal of mine to learn another language.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think I just kind of resonated with French because my daughter took French,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of something that we bonded with, trying to help her with her schoolwork.
Yeah.
So, and I just think it's a beautiful language. So French would probably be primary, and then Spanish just for the practicality of it, right?
Yeah.
Half the world speaking, English and Spanish, so it would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when we were at DLI, we came across someone, he was in the Army, but he was, I don't know, he was explaining why he hates the idea that you have to press 1 for English and 2 for Spanish. And I was like you're at a school to learn a foreign language.
Really?
Like the United States doesn't have a national language because 65% of the United States can speak Spanish. A majority of them speak it fluently and maybe even better than English.
Right.
And seeing people, knowing what I know about like language, the vast majority of the American population can't speak English very well. So
Right.
it's really, I don't know. That was kind of interesting to me how someone could think that way. I mean, I guess, it depends on where you grew up
Yeah.
or whatever, but I know that there's some people in my family who are just like, why don't they just learn English? It's like, I don't know. Why didn't you learn Cherokee whenever you're growing up, since we're from Cherokee and this is their land, but it's fine. It's cool.
Right.
Let's not do that. Let's see. Well, now that I know that you're from Amish country, this might be a little different. If you were given 1,000 acres of land that you didn't need to pay taxes on, but couldn't sell,
Okay.
what would you do with it?
Oh man,
1,000 acres.
1,000 acres.
Do you know what
a
1,000 acres
dream.
looks like?
It's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of land. So I'm a big outdoorsman.
Yeah.
I mean, I love going hiking, camping. I mean, I'd even if my house was on the far side and I had just 1,000 acres in
Yeah.
one direction, I would be heading 1,000 acres that direction
Yeah.
for the next. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Let's add another spin to it. If you could also choose where that 1,000 acres was at, where would you put it? What chunk of this earth would you take for you?
Yeah, it's funny you say that actually, because as much as I would love to be around family,
Yeah.
That area is not the best for just straight land, unless you go up towards, the Appalachian, the Poconos type area, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd probably go out west. Now that I've been in the military, I've had the chance to see the West a little bit, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, it is just gorgeous out there.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go somewhere in maybe Wyoming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's beautiful out there.
Yeah, I definitely I wouldn't take 1,000 acres in Florida. So
No.
I mean, it's cool to be near family, but
Yeah,
1,000 acres of swampland is just not.
right.
It's not ideal. I mean, I love alligators, just not by getting bit by them. So, but no, there's no way I'd go down to Florida. So I don't blame you on that one.
All right, cool.
All right, what did you Google last? If you can say it on the thing,
Oh,
I don't know
goodness.
what you Google at home. I Google
man.
random stuff at home. So
What did I Google last?
you got a phone?
Oh God. All
Look
right.
at your phone. See what Google shows. And
All right.
I don't know if your family is set up the same way I do. Mine is. So every computer in the house is assigned to my Google. So like it has my Gmail like set up. So everything that gets Googled pops up on my feed. So I know what my kids are Googling. Yeah.
I don't know. My kids are a little older now. I don't know if I need that.
This is true.
All right, let's see here. Well, I just got my hair cut, so I just actually Googled great clips
Oh, okay.
over here. So I just checked in online. So that's probably not the most interesting thing though in the world.
I don't need the most interesting. I just need to know
but-
who you are as a person.
Oh yeah,
And your Google.
I got my haircut. Google tells all.
Yes, it does.
So we'll have to keep some of this under wraps here. Let's see what else. So I'm actually looking at buying a suit because my daughter and I are actually going to have our own little. She got this really beautiful white dress, and she really wants to go out to Ruth's Chris. She
Yeah.
just graduated from culinary school, and she was told that's like one of the best steak shops or steakhouses on the island.
It is.
And so she got this really nice white dress, and she really wants me to get a nice suit and take her to Ruth's Chris. So I Googled where to get some really nice suits at.
Yeah.
Apparently Macy's has some really good sales.
They
right
do.
now.
They do.
So
Oh, I don't know about right now, but yeah.
yeah, literally like right now. I was
Okay.
actually probably going to head there later today.
All
Go
right.
Pick up a suit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are you doing like a 3-piece? Or are you doing?
I don't know. I don't pull the 3-piece off as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just makes me look too much like an old school like banker or a villain.
Yeah.
Kind of. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So-
they're one of the same, really.
Either that or I'm in a wedding party. You know?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's just one or the other.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just go with the 2-piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. What's the dumbest thing someone's argued with you about?
My kid's age.
That's pretty dumb to argue about.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think I'd know, but no, people are not convinced. And even when I tell them they're my stepchildren, like the missus is a little older than I am. But no, they just aren't having it. They're like, no, there's no way. Dude, you're 33. There's no way you have a 21-year-old. There's no way you have an 18-year-old. It's like,
Well, actually,
pretty sure I do.
you actually could do that even if they weren't your stepchildren.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I didn't start that early.
yeah, I don't.
So-
I wouldn't recommend. I don't believe.
No.
But yeah,
So, but
Interesting.
yeah, that's kind of. I actually hear that one quite often.
it's kind of weird. So I had a friend growing up. We did martial arts together when we were like 11 or so, and his mother, his mother and his father were 30 years apart. So he was at this time roughly. His father was like 74 and his mother was 44. But my friend, he had 10 half siblings, and 3 of them were older than his mother.
Oh wow.
So he had like the oldest sibling was like 50 because his father had him whenever when he was in his 20s or something like that. But yeah, like there was a huge gap. But when he's like, oh, I've got 3 that are older than my mom, I was like, I'm sorry, you have 3 what older than your mom? It's like siblings, like half siblings, step siblings. He's like half siblings. Okay, I was like,
Okay.
because I was like, why? But then he told me like there's a 30-year gap. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Even as an 11-year-old, I understood that. I know. See, just
Telling you.
sometimes you need to expect more of people.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's kind of difficult.
Oh man.
I know, like all these other ones were easy, right? So if
I haven't had my coffee yet, right?
It's true, yeah. And mine's over there. Well, mine's still mixing. That's good. So if you had a HUD, the heads-up display, that showed 3 stats about any person you looked at,
Oh my lord.
what 3 stats would you want it to show?
Oh man, this podcast could take a turn real quick, couldn't it?
It's fine.
So let's
I got
see here.
199 hours left.
Okay, so 3 stats. Oh man, that is a hard one. Okay, so I would say, oh boy, this is good. See, everything I think of makes me sound so superficial. I was thinking of wealth. I don't know why,
No, that's fine.
but I was thinking of just your personal wealth.
Yeah, I ain't judging.
I
mean,
think-
the 1,000-member group that we are assigned to might be judging.
Oh, I'm
but
sure they are.
I'm not.
Oh, exactly. I'm about to get ostracized from the group immediately. So I think that would be an interesting one to see, just for the sake of. I'm big into like categorization and just being able to see the world in a way where, you can statistically, or I should say, visually view the statistics, right?
Yeah.
The data. So being able to see the wealth disparity actually would be kind of interesting in real time.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
See, when you put it like that, it doesn't sound too bad. Like when you see someone walking on the street, and let's say there's a guy sitting on the side, just looking at his phone, contemplating life or whatever, you might think that he might be in a lower stature or something like that. But if
Yeah.
your wealth, you show him, like your heads-up display shows him like actually he's a multimillionaire, and he's looking at his phone like sad, like, hey, look, man, you got a lot of money, so you're probably not mad about anything else, but.
Well, I was
like,
honestly
what else is
thinking-
going on?
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, though, it gives you kind of another piece of input that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
That's not something you can just go up and ask somebody, right? Like, hey, what's your personal wealth?
You
But if
can.
you go, you can, but I would think that would be kind of rude. But if I went up to, say, a skyscraper or a large building, just look over the town, the city,
Yeah.
and be able to see all the different sections of people walking around, I just think that'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that would be one I think would be kind of cool. Two, I would love to see into someone's personality. You know what I mean? Just being able to see.
Like their sim traits.
Oh God. So let's see. I also got to be very, very tactful with my word choice here.
Now we can edit it out later. It's fine.
But
Intelligence quotient.
I mean, yeah, yeah, really. Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh man.
Jeez, make hiring people a heck of a lot easier.
It's or so in the military, right? I think ASVAB, right? So there was I'll give you a little chance to keep thinking of the other traits.
I appreciate it.
We had a Korean linguist, and she just for some reason did not seem like she should have made it through DLI and things. She just didn't seem like she was quick at all. So every time you talk to her, you kind of had to like it's fine like dumbing things down that you if we're going to talk about I don't know nuclear reactions and things like that, and you're like, yeah, I did biology in high school. I never got to chemistry, right? Like I'd have to. Well, I wouldn't because I don't know any other. But still, like we'd have to dumb it down for you so you understand. It's like this electron as it escaped. You know, like you have to dumb it down for everything, even including her job. We seem to have to dumb down. So it was really irritating. I found out later. So for our jobs for Korean linguists, majority of the linguist population, you had to score above about a 78, roughly, in pretty much all the categories. You know, or general or. The ASVAB's changed a lot since I took it, but when I was an instructor, I would see everyone's ASVAB scores, all of my students, and there were some classes that had 99s across the board. So there was one, literally everyone in the class minus one had 99s across the board. One had a 98 in one category. Yeah. So, like highly intelligent people, you know, for the most part, when it comes to the linguist category, I didn't look at everyone else's ASVAB scores, so I'm not calling anyone else dumb. But it's kind of dawned on me that this individual, because I heard that they were getting out of the military, I was like, huh. So I pulled up their ASVAB scores because you know we have access to all of them, and yeah, she was in the 40s. I was like, you know what? Like I never thought that this would be an indicative of like someone's intelligence or anything like that. It's just like maybe they had a bad day to take the test.
Yeah, for sure.
I was in high school. I don't even think I graduated high school by the time I took this thing. I think I was in 10th grade. I think when I took the ASVAB. But so I never thought of it that way. But it kind of started like playing into it. Like maybe the ASVAB. Maybe they got it right on this.
I wonder how
ASVAB
she
thing.
even got in.
So she cross trained into Korean linguist.
I see.
So she did a different job. I don't know what it was. She cross-trained. She went to Korea. She spent years there. And I think she might have spent time in Korea prior to joining the military as well. So she already kind of had the language ability there. So she was good at Korean. So that would make sense.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. All right.
So I think for my second one then would be compassion. Like if you could put like a number on it, you know, I really think, you know, someone's emotional intelligence is such an indicator to who they are as a person. And the more you have, the more empathetic you are, the more you can see the world through someone else's eyes is indicative of the type of person I would want to associate with.
Absolutely.
And I want to be around. So that would be something that if I could have a heads-up display, I'd want to see like a numeric value for how compassionate and how emotionally intelligent you are. That would be important to me.
So I'm not gonna lie. Last week we just had a group training about emotional intelligence.
Oh, well, you know, it's funny.
was
I guess
good.
we did. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then yesterday I sat through a leadership, you know, just professional development, like little seminar, you know, a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it talked about the 10 traits of servant leadership, and definitely, you know, empathy is one of those. Which, you know, they broke it out into 10 different things, but I think maybe 4 of those are definitely wrapped up into the emotional intelligence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if your third one's gonna be able to top that one. That's pretty good.
Let's see. Third one's probably going to be something ridiculous, like how many dogs they have. You know, the more dogs you have, just clearly the better person you are.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
I've got one cat.
Oh man,
It's okay.
I knew there was something about you.
Yeah, I know. He's cool though. I'm not gonna lie. Like how cats go, like he's interesting. So we tried a dog. We did a rescue when we were in San Angelo at Texas when I was an instructor. But the company, like, they didn't tell us that he was on medication and things like that. So like they kind of lied to us about his personality. So when we met him and let the kids meet him and everything, because we had small kids at the time. Like I couldn't have an aggressive dog, and he was a boxer, so I knew he was going to be. Yeah. I knew he was going to be like more active because I needed a running buddy too.
Yeah.
But then like I guess after he was like weaned off the medication, he was a lot more aggressive, maybe like from his previous owners. And he was like snipping at my youngest daughter, and I was like, yeah, I can't have that. So we had to take him back or whatever. But we tried. We like dogs. We just don't like dog smell, and
it can be tough too when you have younger kids. So I totally get that. We're pretty fortunate to have all of our kids older.
Yeah.
We went through Paws for Hawaii, and we only have one dog currently, but we wanted to wait till we got back to the mainland before we get any other dogs. But yeah, it's been great. But it's nice because all of our kids can help take care of her, and she's super active.
Right.
So
yeah. And when you go back to the States, that'll be in a couple of months, right?
Yeah. Leaving in December.
Going to Fort Meade.
Fort Meade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know where you're going to be living at?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I've been doing some research, but we're still it's a little difficult just because the turnover rate for properties there is just so high.
It is
so fast. So we have a couple places that we've been looking at, but nothing concrete yet.
Yeah. When I went there, I was 23. I don't know how old I was. Probably 23 years old. Single. So I just found a place that was cheap, and it was a single bedroom apartment, things like that, because I didn't have anyone else. And I found a retirement community.
Hey,
I know, right? And so I went there, and I was like, and they're asking me, they're like, why do you want to live here? I was like, the rent's like $719 a month, and I get like $1,200 a month.
Yeah,
so I'm banking like $500. You know how much beer money that is?
Oh yeah.
And I just came from Korea, so I was a little more of an active drinker at the time, but And they're like, well, this is a retirement community. It's like, yeah, but I'm from Florida, so I'm okay with, older people.
Yeah.
It turned out to be like the best place. Like when I was, not really before me and my wife got married, but like just staying there, like initially, I was on the third floor. The second floor was a retired Vietnam vet. He was a CB in Vietnam. And in the first floor, there were two brothers. One was in the Korean War, and the oldest one was in World War II.
Oh, wow.
So, like, every day after work, I just grab a couple six-packs, and I'd just go down to the first floor, and we would just talk story.
Oh, yeah.
And they start, like, the Korean War guy, obviously, I related to him a lot more because I just came from Korea, and I know quite a bit about Korea, I think. Just really, like, the stories. I mean, some of them I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that's classified. But he was, like, field artillery. So if he knows it, it can't be that classified because,
right.
But, maybe just we don't want people to know that. So,
yeah.
But
wow,
how many dogs,
cool.
emotional intelligence, and like how much, a scale of compassion, maybe like on a 1 to 10 scale, maybe 1 to 5?
Probably 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give you a little wiggle room.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then wealth.
Boy, it sounds so cold.
It sounds it, but we can. I mean, I'm a linguist, so I can play with words all day.
Okay.
But yeah, we can swing that.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So tear gas makes people cry.
Right.
Laughing gas makes people giggle. What other kinds of gases do you wish existed?
Man, these brain teasers.
I know. And the next one's actually pretty difficult too. I'm not gonna lie.
What kind of gas would I want? Probably a dance gas.
A dance gas?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Just a straight, like, disco ball comes down, everybody starts dancing, all at once. Same thing, but gas. Like a gas bomb. You just throw it in there. Like if you're trying to,
Yeah.
If you want to stop a mob, you turn them into a dance mob.
This is true.
It's way less threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a mob down here. It's like, oh gosh. Like, should we send the police?
Now you have
like,
a dance party.
Man, send a television crew. This is good.
Yeah.
Flash mob.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe we have to like do it to where it's got like hive mentality. So like choreographed things.
Oh yeah. It's basically an episode of Thriller.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like we can genetically modify something, right?
Oh,
to where it's like, all right, now everyone knows how to do this. Like they might not be physically able to drop down to the splits. Maybe that guy needs to stay off to the side. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody can do the electric slide.
this is true.
You know what I mean?
This is true. That's good. So what would the adult version of an ice cream truck sell, and what song would it play?
Oh man,
This-
it would be. Oh, I can give you an answer right away. So
Okay.
it'd be obviously an alcohol truck,
Yep.
which would play AC/DC Thunderstruck.
Okay.
And I tell you, I hear that thing coming down the street. You will see me running out of the house so
Yep.
quick. Oh man.
Oh, I was thinking margaritas and tacos,
Oh hey,
and
yeah.
it would play the song Tequila.
Oh, perfect.
Right? I know.
How is this not a thing?
I
Oh man, $1 million
actually
ideas here.
There was like a drive-through margarita place in Texas. They gave it to you like a frozen margarita in like
Yeah.
a cup that you had to like promise not to drink it on the way home.
course.
I was like, how is this not an open container? Like it's a
Yeah,
styrofoam
really.
cup. It's there's no seal going on here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They I guess they did some business. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm sure they're staying open during the pandemic too.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure.
all right. What fictional characters have you had a crush on over the years?
Let's see. Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. I mean, Kate Beckinsale in
I don't
general
blame
is
you.
just, it's
Yeah.
just unbelievable. Let's see. Who else?
What about a cartoon character?
Cartoon character. Oh man. I don't know, man. That's more my kids, I think.
Really? Like
Yeah.
Jessica Rabbit?
Oh yeah, Jessica Rabbit was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She's mine. Well, her and Gadget from the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I don't even have a thing
Really?
for blondes, but yeah, I don't know. For some reason, she was cute and she was smart. And just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good combo. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Jessica Rabbit. I can totally see where you're coming from on that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't really have a thing for redheads either, but even the dude playing is like, how did you get her? You know?
trying to think of any other fictional crushes that I had.
Actually, I'm just running through a whole list of mine right now. Kelly Kapowski, Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, geez. Well, man, now we're really going back.
Right?
Now you're making me think.
I don't know. Avatar. Think she was cute. Blue's not really my color either, but still.
Yeah. No. Maybe not Avatar. Let's see. Man, I don't know why I'm having drawing such a blank on this one. I'm sure I've had many fictional crushes that I'm just blanking on at the moment. The only
Yeah.
one that really popped in my mind was Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was badass too.
Oh, she really is.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah.
And it's the British accent. I mean, everything about it. It's just
true.
You go weak at the knees.
Yeah. What about? Yeah, I know. I liked her in Serendipity or something with John Cusack.
Was she in that?
Yeah, she was the girl who lost her glove or whatever. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I think I only saw bits and pieces of that.
Yeah, I think it was on recently, or maybe like I don't know, maybe it showed up like trending now or something, and I was like, why? I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's cool, but I was just curious, like why that would be trending, you know? Like I understand why Outbreak was trending, you know?
Oh, well, obviously. of course.
Exactly, right? So, would you want the ability to hear the thoughts of people near you if you couldn't turn that ability off?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's such a scary proposition.
I'm a
good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm a linguist, so I listen to everyone's conversations anyway.
Oh yeah.
So, like, just hearing what else is going on in there,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, because I feel like I can redirect really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I know somebody's like, ooh, like I'm getting some weird vibes from this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I get it. You know,
Exactly.
maybe I'm being a little bit too cordial, too friendly here. So, you know, vice versa, right? You know, maybe get that self-esteem boost that you're looking for, right? You know, that validation.
Right.
You know, that people are a little bit too scared sometimes to say, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Without the ability to turn it off, though. It's a scary proposition, but I got to tell you, I still think I would, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
That'd
three
be a cool
kids.
superpower.
Exactly, right? And I've got
know?
3 kids, so I can ignore things pretty well. So,
Yeah. You'd
not
be
that I
a
ignore my
pretty
kids,
good
but-
prosecutor, I think.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. So when I was an instructor, like I had to, because I don't really understand people's emotions, and with me, like my little brain, I don't understand, like there's nothing really personal to me. Like I'll talk about anything with anyone, because I don't feel like anyone can use something against me in any way, shape, or form, or whatever. Like we talk about certain things, that like maybe the just the linguist career field, something that you might have to deal with, normally in the bad realm.
Of
right?
course.
Of some of the things you might have to listen to, and people getting hurt and things like that.
Right.
People dying, and there's some I'd have to like look at all of the students' faces, so I know if they get like little micro flashes of disgust or aggression or something like that. So I
Right.
have to like kind of address it.
Sure.
I think if I just understood what they were listening, or if I could hear their thoughts, that'd been so much better.
Of course.
I
Yeah,
know.
totally.
You'd be a better instructor.
You
That's,
would.
That's all I want to use it for, not for evil purposes at all.
Yeah. No, not. Of course not.
What topic could you spend hours talking about?
It's funny because although I'm super interested in it, I don't have a huge knowledge base in it.
Yeah,
I'm big into AI. I just think it's the coolest thing in the world.
yeah,
But I don't know if I could actually have an intelligent conversation about it too long without it just starting to go over my head because I
Yeah.
just don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
But it's something that I find incredibly interesting. AI is really cool. Anything sci-fi, really. I could talk about space for hours. I'm big into like this is going to sound kind of ridiculous, but self-help, like just like working on yourself, building yourself. I honestly could talk about that for hours as well.
Have you seen my bookshelf?
Seriously though,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And I don't think of it as self-help. I think of it as just improving myself so I'm
Right.
better for the world.
there is a negative connotation with that.
There is,
So
yeah.
I think if you dispel that and you understand what it truly is doing,
Right.
is when you get a better look at yourself, or maybe from a different perspective, you can start to shape things or move things differently. You can start to move the direction you want to a little bit more efficiently.
Right.
You can be more cognizant of things around you, have better situational awareness. All those things. Those are all benefits, I think, of working on yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could talk about that for hours.
Have you ever seen the movie School for Scoundrels?
I have not.
So it's got the same guy who played Napoleon in Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
And it's also got
I think I saw the trailer for it actually.
and it's got Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay.
And
I'm surprised I haven't seen it then.
And he's the one who's like teaching this class on like self-help or like how to not be a loser, I guess.
Okay.
So and I guess like the first day of this class, there's a whole bunch of people in this class, and he's like, raise your hand if you have a self-help book, and like everyone in the room raises their hand. He's like, see, that's your first mistake. You can't help yourself because yourself is a loser. And I thought about that. I was like, I can see where he's going, but I can't really agree. But okay, that's cool. So some people just need that extra.
Hey, that
like,
tough love.
things.
Yeah.
It is, right?
There's a time and place for it for sure.
There is, yeah. And of course, at the end, goodness comes out of it, just like anger management, where
Right. Yes.
Guy's just torturing Adam Sandler,
Right.
Or I guess Jack Nicholson, not just
Right.
Guy. That's Jack Nicholson. He deserves respect.
Oh yeah.
What profession doesn't get enough credit or respect?
I can name a ton. I think, and this is going to be pretty broad definition, but social work in general. Social work is some of the most needed, essential work in this country, and it is the most under-resourced, underpaid type of work, especially for the requirements. I mean, pretty much any social job would require at least a bachelor's degree.
Absolutely.
And for the amount of respect, and there's just not a widespread knowledge of what a lot of social workers actually do,
Yeah.
and the communities that they support. So, I mean, I could go on and on. You could make a strong argument for teachers, being under-resourced and underpaid and under-respected. A lot of just the blue collar jobs, right? The daily, those just day in, day out, just dirty jobs.
Yeah.
That a lot of people think is entry level work.
Right.
And it's not necessarily entry level work. Someone can make their entire life career out
Yeah.
of that type of work. And I think it's important that we recognize that and we understand that's a foundational need in this country. To build infrastructure, to be able to clean and keep things
Sanitized.
sanitized, right?
In a
yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah,
Right?
for instance.
Yeah.
Great example. So, but yeah, if I had to choose one, social work. It's there's not a great knowledge behind what they do within the community, so it's hard to change policy about it,
Right.
or to get any movement forward, right? To get the masses I think a lot of people nowadays are aware that teachers are underpaid and not, even with the union, it's just they really don't get the pay and the resources that they need.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can say the same thing about social workers. Not a lot of people realize the debt that they go in to put themselves in a position where they're now still underpaid, under-resourced, and have just such difficult jobs
Yeah.
and have such necessary positions that they fill.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that. I had a friend who's she needed a master's degree to do her social work that she was doing, but I think she was 35,000 a year.
Oh yeah.
For I mean, like I made 35,000 as an 18-year-old kid doing manual labor in a styrofoam factory. So
Yeah, it's serious. My sister, in fact, is a social worker. She went to a private school, got her bachelor's in drug and addiction counseling,
yeah,
and she works with those dealing with homelessness
Mm-hmm.
in Lancaster County, and again, some of the most needed work there. But it is crazy how little she makes. I honestly don't barely know how they support themselves,
Yeah.
her and her family, and so under resourced. I mean, they should hire like 30 more people just for the workload that she's doing.
Right.
You know, and that's just how it is across the board. And so yeah, that would definitely be something I wish we could communicate a little better to the public.
yeah. So do you use social media?
I do.
What's the most annoying thing about social media that you use most often? About if you use like Instagram most often, Facebook,
I
whatever.
use Facebook more than anything.
Yeah. So what's the most annoying thing about Facebook?
Well, I hate the new design that they came out with.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the UI change that they made.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it. But I wish they'd go back to the old one. But other than that, not too much. I mean, you know, you get to that point in your life where half your friends end up you unfollowing or blocking. So it's like, oh well,
This is true.
you know. So that's kind of annoying. Just come across, you realize how small of a town you come from, and how
And the perspectives
that
match the
mentality
size. Yeah.
has been exacerbated over the last 30 years. So you really start to see the worst in people, and people they're pretty shameless. They post some pretty ridiculous stuff. So that's probably the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I know that me and my wife both absolutely hate that all the Facebook videos now have ads in them.
Oh,
Like
it's
they
so
stop
annoying.
it. They
You're
stop
right.
it like maybe 30 to 45 seconds in, and they play an ad. I'm just like,
Instagram, every third one you scroll through is an
yeah.
ad.
Oh, jeez.
Every third one.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, check it out. It's
I-
like clockwork, I'm telling you.
I just now got an Instagram, and I really just I've put 2 cat photos up there.
Hey, you got to do it for the gram.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I totally understand. You know, it's small town, kind of like small perspectives.
Oh yeah.
I've
People that
got
have never traveled from home.
exactly.
it's-
Yeah, and they're like, this is how it is. It's like you've never been anywhere else.
Exactly.
Like, don't act like you know how the world is if you've never left, Lakeland, Florida, or something to that effect,
Exactly.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So, or even smaller, like where my grandfather lives in Gardner, Florida, like population 311. Like, I don't know if any of those guys have computers down there, but still,
Right.
like, I think they just got running water.
Yeah.
But like if anyone from there was talking about like how the world works, you just have to unfollow.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I mean, good. Thank you, Facebook for putting an unfollow button, because
Hey, yeah,
It's-
that's a good move.
it's coming handy. I'm not gonna lie.
it has.
All right, this is a serious question, not like the last one, but still.
Got it.
Where's the line between soup and cereal?
Between soup and cereal?
Yes. Do you think cereal is a soup?
No.
Why not?
I know there are cold soups, so I don't want to get, pushed off the cliff for this, but
There's definitely cold soups.
there's definitely cold soups.
There's a whole thing of them in Korea called naengmyeon. Literally means iced
I think
noodles.
I actually had some
So
when I
good.
was in Korea.
Yeah, it's so good.
They are good, but it's hard because that would be the delineation between soup and cereal for me. Would be soup I would consider hot, and then cereal I would consider cold.
Okay.
But I know I can already punch holes in my own argument because there's
true.
cold soups. So, so that's a hard line to draw.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, first off, actually, if I
go
may
for it.
rebuttal with a question,
Yeah,
how
go.
did you come up with this question?
I Googled 350 questions to ask awesome people, and I went through, and I was like, I literally, I think I even have I bet you I have it in my notebook over there. It says questions for Schaum. And I went there and I put out all the numbers, and I was like, man, I can't do all of these, but that's whatever. So
All right.
I went through, but I got decks of questions over here. There's like a whole deck of would you rather.
Okay.
There's just interview questions, interview question deck 2, things like that. I haven't even played with those yet.
Ooh.
The would you rather was there's a couple that they crossed the line. I was like, I'm not asking that at all.
Yeah.
So they're just disgusting. It's not like ooh, that's edgy. It was just
Yeah.
disgusting. I was like, no. So there's a couple of those, and there's like the podcast interview, like which type of interview should you do, or what type of podcast should you do? Like you should do one the day of the life, or like your morning routine or something, and do a podcast on that type of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I asked my wife this. She had an answer right off the bat. Like she's more smart than me anyway. So anyway, she was just like, cereal is definitely not soup. And I was like, why? She's like, soup has a lot more liquid to like content ratio in her mind. Cause she's like, if anything, cereal would be a stew. And
Okay,
she's definitely a foodie. I'm not. So I eat, definitely. That's all I care
You know,
about.
it's hilarious because I'm literally going to go home and ask Shaylin, the culinary grad,
Yeah.
this exact question.
You're going to ask her.
I'll tell you what she ends up saying.
What's the line between soup and cereal?
I will ask her.
Yeah. Off the bat, my wife was just like,
Yeah,
boom. And I was
that's
like,
a good point.
I was like, damn, you're good.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So,
That's a good one.
all right. Well, I know. So it's like 10:08, 10:07 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're getting close to it, and you've got things to do today. So you need to go pick up a suit. So
Yes,
that you
so
can go.
I got to take Shaylin to work.
Yep.
Then I'm heading right to Macy's, go pick up a suit.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do I got? And, you know, take the puppy out. You
Yeah.
know, we'll go running. We'll do a little workout together later. And, yeah, then I'm going to make a nice dinner. I figured, you know, she works a double today.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, you know, I'd make a nice dinner and, you know, get the house cleaned up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I want to thank you for being here, answering honestly. I hope you're honest.
Of
So
course,
If I
absolutely.
could hear your thoughts, though, I'd be able to tell that.
That's true.
I don't think we said anything too controversial that needs to be cut out later, but
I don't
we'll
think
figure it
so.
out.
No, it's pretty PG.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
For the most part, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you need the R-rated version, we'll have to do.
We can do that too.
We'll do
like I
round
said,
2.
199 hours left on
Okay.
this thing. So
All right.
So all right. Is there anything that you would want to say to Ron, the guy who kind of nominated you for this, or maybe just
You
the
know-
8XL or something? I don't need you to give your like going away speech yet.
No.
But
No, it's incredibly thoughtful, and you know, really, just thank you. Thank you for the support that Ron has always been. You know, he's really been the key consistency for me to build my career on with ADAC, and I know he knows this, but I truly appreciate all the support that he's provided, and to get recognition from him means a lot to me. So thank you.
no.
And everyone there. I mean, even with the multiple changes of leadership, you know, I've been very fortunate to have a really strong team that I've worked with. All the other operators, you know, we are all a culmination of each other's work. So where I'm getting recognition now, it should be reflective of the work that we've all done together.
Yeah.
So, you know, just super appreciative of the team that I've had.
That was Staff Sergeant Select Tom Schaum of the 8th Intelligence Squadron, clearly among the best as an air domain awareness cell operator and soon to be an amazing non-commissioned officer. If you have any ideas, recommendations for future podcast shows, or guests that you'd like to hear from, let us know by going to any of the socially acceptable means of communication and leave us a comment. Facebook URL is facebook.com/group/692D podcast. The email is simply 692dpodcast@gmail.com. And you can always leave us a message on the Mattermost channel. If you can't get to any of those, send me an email at derek.addison@us.af.mil, and I'll respond as soon as possible. That's the show for today. So for now, aloha, take care of yourself. And if you can, take care of someone else too.